Welcome, welcome everyone. My name is Kate Higdon. I'm super excited that you are on here and you are going to be participating in the training on short form video. Short form video is available on TikTok, it's available on Instagram, it's available on Facebook with Reels, and we're going to be teaching you best practices around this to grow your business if you're wanting to grow your business. Because the truth is if you're not using short form video, you are literally talking to the same people over and over and over again. And what we want to do is expand your funnel so you have new eyes in front of you, new people to talk to, new people to have conversations with. My friend and partner I call her my keto cousin, my partner in all of this, Samantha Rose, and I are going to take you on this journey where you have a full-on presentation for you guys tonight. Get out your pen, get out your paper. We're going to take very, very specific notes. What we will not be teaching you on this is how to actually open your phone and create the short form video, because you can literally learn that on a 2 to 3 minute YouTube video. If you search on YouTube, how do I make a reel? How do I make a TikTok? And if you want help finding those, message us and we can help you to find short videos. This is going to teach you the strategy, which is more important than the even how. Y'all ready? All right, well, let's get going on how to grow your business using short form video and, most importantly, attain profits. So, are you ready for the wave of ideal clients and new audience in your inbox daily? Interested in what you are doing daily. That is what has happened to me since I started incorporating short form video. Every day I wake up with new people in my inbox, new conversations in my inbox. And that is really what is going to grow your business the fastest. Y'all got that? All right, let's get going, Miss Samantha.
All right, so let's talk about consistency and authenticity. This is something that is extremely important on all social media platforms. I actually just did a call today with Meta and had a conversation about consistency. And it was actually the first topic that they brought up in saying the most important part about growing on TikTok or growing on Instagram or growing on Facebook. It's all in alignment, and it's consistency and authenticity. So staying consistent with the strategies that we're about to teach you will 100% help you see profitable results. And it's all about growing and reaching a new audience, like Kate mentioned, and riding this wave, opening this floodgate of people that are coming to you and attracted to what it is that you're sharing. So you're going to create this steady flow of new people that are interested in what you have to offer. So once we identify your niche and we focus on the things that we're going to teach you in this video, then you will have so much clarity. You will feel so much more confident walking on your social media journey. And authenticity is also about presence. So living in the moment with conviction, having belief in you and what your capabilities are will shine through energetically on all of the short form videos that you create. And your confidence and your certainty and your joy and your energy and your happiness will shine through when you're staying true to yourself. So being consistent attracts like-minded individuals also, and those people are going to be able to relate to you being you and you being authentically you, and you're going to build and find and create your tribe, or people that are on the same wavelength and have the same energy and the same desires, and they want what you have, right? They want to be a part of it. So when you're creating your content and you are looking at your social media page, I want you to establish a clear perception of how you want people to perceive you, who you are, and what you represent. Like, what do you want them to see and feel and experience and assume even when they land on your page and they look at your pictures and the thumbnails that they see before they even open the content, and then they watch your content and they're going to get a certain vibe. So When you are authentically you, you will attract people that are authentically like you. It's not only about creating content, like thinking the mindset of I need to create content for like the right person or else it's going to be wrong. You're creating the content for the right person because you are creating this actual environment and this reality for yourself and the people that you're bringing to your page. So, the more present you are online, the faster your audience will go. So, bring people with you on your journey, be authentic and consistent. You're muted.
Thank you. So I was all into it too. So I think it's the picture off to the side. I'm missing some Ishkaret, Mexico right there. So short form video really helps us to build relationships. It's about that know, like, trust. People can't get to like you or trust you if they don't know you first. Every single one of you watching this, you are worthy of being seen. You are worthy of people knowing who you are, and you have the ability to really brighten someone's life, to show up in their life when maybe other people aren't, to be that beacon for them. It's amazing the relationships that we've been able to create because short form video brought these people into our lives. There are people on our teams right now, Samantha and I both, people on our teams that we have met and build relationships with because they got to know us first through a short form video. So that is really the outcome. It's building relationships and creating those. So as you grow on social media, which it can happen so fast, like my husband just started a TikTok account like a month and a half ago, I think, and he already has 40,000 followers. Did not expect that to happen. It can happen like this if you are consistent. It is super important to be building those meaningful relationships with people along the way if you're wanting them to one day say, what is she doing? I want more information about that. That happens when they feel like they know you. Okay. So go deeper with those relationships, not wider. Wider is more surface. Deeper is, and I posted this just recently. I said, the thing that we think is our brake pedal in being online is actually your gas pedal. And what that is vulnerability. The more vulnerable you are, the deeper the relationships you're going to build with people because you have just made yourself relatable. So what does that mean? That means it's okay to share about your own fears, your own insecurities. That endears people to you. It shows them, oh my gosh, she's like me. He's like me. I relate to them. Okay. So that is so, so important. Transactional business is only going to get you so far. Transactional is going online and all your reels are about your product, about your service. Like, here are my ketones, here's my opportunity. Like, that is transactional and that does not build relationships. No one's going to click the follow button on those things. No one's going to keep showing up to see your content if you are just being transactional. What will build you a solid long-term business with depth of leadership is depth of relationships. And I love this phrase. I love this because put a 2 in the chat. If you not only want to build a team, but you want to build a team with leaders who are locking arms with you on the same mission, going in the same direction. If you have a transactional business, that will never happen. But if you build a business that it has solid relationships, those people are going to walk through fire with you. They are seeing the mission with you, and they are going to strengthen themselves in leadership, which gives you a stable business. Quality relationships go way longer than a greater quantity of relationships. And I think this is important because this is where I want to share with you that the number of followers you have does not correlate with the quality of followers you have. Samantha and I both know people on social media who have millions of followers, millions, and they have no business. They are not earning an income with millions of followers because those followers are very surface level. There was no relationship established, no community built. What we want to do in this training is teach you how, like what type of content should you be creating in short form video to create those quality relationships. All right, Samantha, you got to click. All right, so when do you post? How many of you are like, I don't know when to post. When do I post this? When am I supposed to go? So at the very least, and this is all going to be determined really like on how much time you have in your week to work your business. But at a minimum, 3 times per week, at the very minimum, okay? The bigger your goals in your business, the more you should be creating. So a good rule of thumb is 3 to 5 times per week, you should be posting a short form video. It's proven to bring in a consistent flow of followers. Remember how I said I have new conversations every day? It's not because I only post once a week. Okay. I have new followers coming in all the time that have never seen my content. They've never seen my offers. All they've seen is the value and the education and the inspiration that I provide. And then now that they're following, they're seeing all the other stuff that I do. When the content provides value and gives people a reason to share, save, and like, that's when you're going to win. Posting less is okay as long as the posts are very meaningful and well-maintained momentum. So what I mean by that is, let's say you're only posting 3 short form videos a week. Okay, that's all you have time for. You've got 2 jobs, 3 kids, single mom, whatever your life is, it's crazy. Know that everyone's life is crazy. We all have crazy, busy lives. So if you can only post a few, you have to be so intentional that that content is really speaking to your ideal customer. It is offering education and value around what they're interested in. Okay, so the quality of that content is even more important when you are posting less. Post things that spark emotion, pique interest, and create curiosity.
Okay, so let's talk about being a professional storyteller, which is one of my favorite topics. I've heard for years from several different mentors that the people who are most successful online are the best storytellers, because like Kate mentioned, creating that emotion, creating that relatability, creating that online presence is about telling stories to create that relatability, make people feel like if they can do it, I can do it too. Or, wow, this person seems like my person. Like that person could be my best friend. Like we like all of the same stuff. And, putting enough out there to where you don't have to share your personal life. This is a business. Just share the things that are relevant to the conversations that you're having. And that's really what it means to show up and create that relatability through those topics. So I love you too. When it says create relatability, connect with people who can relate with whatever story it is that you're telling and create that genuine, real connection with them. Like when you go on TikTok, for example, TikTok is the largest search engine currently. People go to TikTok to search for things. Like, what are the things? Think about the things that you would go search up like regularly. Like for me, it would be gardening. Like, how do I get my blueberries to grow more? I just did that actually. And I found a bunch of people that created content about that. Now, if you guys think about what the content is that your ideal client is looking for and could bring them value, that'll immediately create relatability because you're giving them value that they're literally searching for. And then when they click on your page, as long as you're following the systems that we're about to teach you in this video, then they're going to go on your page and feel like they know you, they're going to like you, and they're going to begin to trust you because you're going to take them along and storytell throughout this journey of social media together, right? So that's also how you build trust with people. You're creating that feeling, like I mentioned, like, oh, I've been there too. And you're actually providing that hope and that vision for that solution. They're like, wow, I can relate to her so much because she's been through XYZ, or she does this every day, or this is her experience, or this is her hobby. And it'll build trust between you guys. It'll make them feel like, wow, I'm there right now and I could be where they are currently. So, keep storytelling, and it inspires people. The goal, inspiration will move the needle. That emotion will move the needle. So if somebody feels inspired by what it is that you're sharing, they're going to take action. They are always going to take action on things that inspire them, give them vision, give them hope, and get them excited to do whatever it is that you are offering the people, which is, the benefits that you can provide for people, the solution that you can provide for people. And one of the most common things that I get asked is, how do I find my niche? How do I know what I should be posting about and talking about? What can I do for that? So this is going to give you everything that you need to find your niche. Okay. Now, first things first is I want you to think about your hobbies, your talents, skills, and things that you're good at, things that you feel comfortable doing, and things that you love and bring you joy and you feel comfortable talking about. Okay. So you can make a list of those things. I'll give you an example. For me, I will just go through my day. I love health and wellness stuff. I love going to the sauna and yoga and sweating and moving my body and running the mountains and hiking and gardening. I garden a lot, and I share really good food. So that's like the main things that I share. So choose 3 that you love the most out of all of the things that you can think of when you're making that list from number 1. Just pick your top 3. And then what I want you guys to do is identify which one you feel the most comfortable sharing to people in like super simple form, not like a doctor or a researcher or an expert. Like if you like skincare, I'm not telling you need to break down the molecules, but I'm just saying, like, if you like skincare, you can confidently be like, this is my morning skincare routine. This is my nighttime skincare routine. These are my favorite products and why. Like, confidently share what you're doing. Maybe it's clothes, maybe it's car stuff, maybe it's knitting, maybe it's running, whatever it is. Okay. And then what I want you to do for step 4 is pinpoint any knowledge that you've obtained throughout your life in this area that you can share about, and make a list of those things. Like if you're a runner, what are your favorite shoes that you run on? And like, what's your favorite terrain? And what's your favorite water bottle? And what's your favorite supplements and your favorite snacks and tips for this? And definitely don't do that. And all the things, you'll be able to make so much around it, right? So I want you to just pinpoint any knowledge that you can maybe teach people about whatever it is. Like if it was skincare, I can teach you so much about it. Same gardening. You'll be growing vegetables if you go through my whole page, right? So be able to like own being that person and showing up as that person that's like, hey, this is what I love and this is how I do it. And, this is what gets me the best results. And people will show up for that, and they'll want to talk to you and hang out with you and drink your ketones and do whatever else, right? And some good questions. I love this at the bottom. It talks about questions to ask yourself. I love asking myself questions. It helps me uncover things that sometimes I didn't really know existed or think about. So identify, what hobbies do you have? What are things that you enjoy? What are things that you are good at? What are things that you can do with ease? And what are things that I can teach other people? So if you go down and answer those questions for yourself, you're going to uncover a lot that can all be turned into social media?
Okay, so let's get into post ideas. I love this. You guys need to write this down and follow the 4 E's of content creation. Okay, 4 E's. All of our content should fit into one of these E's. The first one is education. The second one is entertainment. The third one is emotion. And the fourth one is engagement. So let's kind of give an example. So education is you're teaching somebody something. So over here on the left of the screen, you can see it's a recipe of making salad dressing. So you're educating someone on a recipe. You're teaching them something. Entertainment might be something that is funny. Maybe if your niche is that you're a grandma and you are, because I know we got some little grandmas watching, if you are posting something funny that your grandkids said or that you and your husband are dealing with having all these grandkids around and it's entertaining, you're going to make a reel about that. Emotion is things that might be inspirational. Maybe it's if that's part of your niche and you're posting something that is extremely inspirational. Maybe it's your story. Your story creates emotion, especially when you come from that place of vulnerability. When you're looking at your content, I'm going to highly encourage you to not just focus on what you can teach people, but focus on the problem you had and the solution you found. So if the problem was, let's say for me, the problem was binge eating. Like I used to be a binge eater. When I tell my story about binge eating and that I found a solution for that, that is emotional. That brings emotion up in people. So people are moved by emotion. They are not moved by facts. I'm going to say that again. People are moved by emotion. They are not moved by facts. Facts tell, stories sell. So your story, other people's story, funny stories, inspirational stories, whatever you can do to create that emotion. And then engagement. Listen, everyone loves to give their opinion on social media. I think we have all like figured that out, right? So when you can make a post about what's your opinion? Should I wear this dress or this dress? Or what's your favorite flavor for summertime? And you're giving people an option to engage, or you are saying, comment yes if you can relate. You're giving people the opportunity to engage with you, which that also helps to build relationships, especially if you go back and you interact with those comments, you interact with that engagement. Don't be a post and ghoster. You don't want to be a poster and a ghoster. When you make your content and you ask for engagement, make sure that you go back and you engage with the engagement. Because that, if you remember a couple of slides ago, we talked about the importance of relationships. So as we're talking about these recipes, you can tell a story of something exciting. Recipes an option. Tell a story of something you have persevered through. That is so important for the emotion as well. If you've had a struggle and you've had a challenge and you've been able to overcome that. Tell a story about anything. Tell a funny story. I literally was in the ER the other night. I have gone live like 3 times. I have made short form video already about being in the ER and my situation. Share a routine or product that you love. Like Samantha said, your daily skincare regimen or your nighttime skincare regimen. Just share a routine, share something that you are passionate about and that you can add value to someone else's life with. It could be like I share a lot about how I feed my dogs and the dog food that I choose and why. Because dogs, being a dog mom is actually part of my niche. 3 tips for anything. Anytime you can give people tips, and that's a great hook too, like my 3 best tips for staying low carb, or my 3 best tips for having a healthy dog, or my 3 biggest tips for surviving having teenagers, whatever that is for you. Those are great post ideas. You can also highly recommend to save sounds to your favorites to use later. Some of you are like, what do you mean? I'm not sure. So when you're watching content, which by the way, from this moment on, I need you all to promise yourself and keep this promise to yourself that as you are scrolling on social media, you are scrolling as a student and not for entertainment. You are scrolling for education and not entertainment. All right. When you're scrolling through Reels or TikTok, and you need to be looking for things that really hit with you, things that draw you in, things that you're like, oh, that was good. I really liked that. You can save the sound. And if you don't know how to do that, you can go to YouTube and say, how do I save a sound on a Facebook reel? Okay, you can do all those things. But you can save that. And then later on, you can take that sound and you can apply it to the niche that you're in. Okay, so we'll be giving examples of those during our challenges. Save videos that already have a good response so you can replicate them later with your own twist. This is so amazing about short form video. You do not have to create things from scratch, okay? Short form video platforms, it's one of the best things that's ever happened because they actually want you to recreate. They want you to be inspired by other people's videos and go recreate it with your own spin. So I might be watching something about skincare and say, that was really great. I'm going to save that and take that idea and put that towards a video about ketones. Or I'm going to take that recipe and I'm going to make it low carb and remake it. So keep that stuff that you enjoy. Watch your social media as a student, not as someone who's just being entertained. I want you to really be watching through those eyes. Get inspired by content that is already performing well. This allows us to work smarter, not harder, y'all. Okay. All right, let's talk about the algorithm. We get this question a lot. What about the algorithm? Okay, so the algorithm, it's really the best way to get in front of new people, Each time you post, your content is going to go on the news feed. It's a small test first. So the platforms push it out onto the news feed. What is amazing about short form video is it's really the only consistent, reliable way for you to get in front of new people. We've had people on our team before that are like, Kate, I did 30 lives. I did 30 days, a live every day. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's great. You were talking to the same people that entire 30 days. So unless you are growing your audience, you're talking to the same people over and over and over. Just making a social media post or doing a live or posting in your stories, that is only going to talk to the current followers that you have. All right. Short form video gets pushed out to people that are not already following you. It is the fastest way for you to meet new people, and really the best way, unless you're going to go to a vendor event and walk around and talk to 200 people, which that would be challenging and take a lot of time. You can get in front of 200 people in 5 minutes using short form video. So how long it stays on the newsfeed depends on how many saves, comments, shares, and reposts and likes you get when it initially performs. So if you know that the better your short form video performs in those first couple hours is going to depend on, that's going to dictate how many people it gets in front of. It's probably, hint, it is probably a really good idea to specifically ask people to save this video, comment, share this with your friends. Be sure to like and follow. Tell people what you want them to do so that the algorithm will keep pushing it out and pushing it out. Some of my recipes that have gone crazy have been because in the first 2 seconds, I say, make sure you save this recipe. You are gonna want to come back to it. Okay. So if you're doing your skincare regimen for the night, you're going to say, make sure you save this so that you can come back and look at the products very specifically later. Okay. Or you could say, comment me if you know that you need a new skincare regimen. Are y'all following this? Like, give me a 2 in the chat if you are following, you are smelling what I stepped in here, because it is really important that you're paying attention. Those first couple of hours, you need to create content that the algorithm loves and it keeps pushing out and pushing out. Okay. So if it goes well, then it goes into a medium-sized test group, more people for a few days. All right. Now, I think this is important, and I have to tell my husband this all the time, that if you have a video that does not blow up the first day that it went out, that does not mean that it's not going to go viral. Okay. It's going through a test process. The algorithm sends it to a few people. If they like it, they send it to a bigger group. If that group likes it, then it goes out to more people. So sometimes a video will really take off 3 to 5 days after you posted it. Does that make sense, everybody? All right, so the more engagement you have, the longer it stays on the public news feed and the more people will see it. So here's another pro tip for you. You can engage on your own content. Your engagement helps as well. So let's say you make a video and people comment. Go respond to those comments. That's going to help boost it. That's going to help push it out. The more that you are responding and engaging with those comments, the better it's going to be for pushing you out into the algorithm. So that, my friends, is the algorithm in a nutshell.
I love that. And I love what you said about putting out and asking people to do what it is that you want them to do. You're really, you can program the outcome completely from the beginning. And I love too what Kate said about, just telling them, hey, save this live and do this and comment, etc. And something that the Meta guy also said today that was really good was he was asking about like giving us ideas on what to ask for engagement versus always saying like comment this for info. He was like, you can even ask for feedback. Like, what is your feedback? You can even start it with, listen, I need your guys' help. And it can come to like a decision. Like, I love doing dresses or outfits. Like, what should I wear to this event? What should I wear to the concert? People love giving their opinion. How should I decorate my house? What color custom whatever am I going to put on my Jeep? Like whatever, right? Asking for opinion and just like creating that genuine organic connection. I always ask questions. Ask questions. You can start things with a question. You can end things with a question. You can add questions in between because people are going to answer them and it's going to create more engagement. So I just wanted to also throw that in there. So here's some more factors of the algorithm. Like Kate already mentioned these, but I really want to emphasize the fact that the things that are important are people rewatching your video. And that might happen because they need to read it. They want to hear it again. Maybe they're reading your caption because it's really juicy and good. And your video is just like replaying in the background, right? So all those things matter. And then the length of watch time, like there's a chart, if you look in analytics that shows, let's say you have a 10-second video, it'll show like a chart on when people actually start closing out the video. So if you're paying attention, like, hey, people only watch this video to 6 seconds, go look back, see what you said for the first the first 3 or 4 seconds, and then identify second 5 and 6 is where people fell off. So that's where you need to shift. And, growth, I always say it's like the stairs, you shift, you grow, you identify what you can do different or better, and you shift and you grow and you learn and you go up this staircase to success. So pay attention to the length of watch time and make improvements to increase watch time. Shares, pay attention to the shares. Ask people to share, let people know. I love saying, tag somebody who needs to hear this, send this to somebody who needs to hear this, those things matter because it also puts you in front of a different audience, right? So if your good friend Sally shares it with like her mom and her mom's best friend, and then they love it, and then they share it, you're like, you have the opportunity to tap into other people who you actually don't even know. And comments, again, the engagement, the comments that boosts it, the likes and the saves, save it for later. Like, how many of you guys save videos or send them to yourself because you're like, oh, I gotta watch this later. Oh, I gotta remake this later. Right. I don't know where we put this or if we included it, but Kate mentioned last night, like, have albums in everything. Like, have an album in your phone. If you use Instagram, like saves, you can have different folders. Like, I have one named content ideas, remake these. I have a folder that's called remake these for all of the posts that I love that I want to remake. So, but the most important, to be honest, too, like prerequisite is the consistency. If you are only doing this like once a week or every other week, it's just not going to get the outcome that you want. And that's with me assuming that you want to succeed and grow and, build a business, etc. Or not even build a business, just reach a lot of people, make an impact on a lot of people, and turn that into whatever you want to turn that into. Maybe it's just something small, something big, free product, whatever it is. These are just the things that work, that we know work, that are proven. So intentional posts over non-specific posts, like don't feel like you need to just throw something up. So you put some random thing that has no outcome or no juice, no beef in the middle, no nothing. It's just like super random and people just like scroll by it and don't engage and they have nothing to say. And it's like, that was cute or something. Pack tons of free value into your feed, just pour into people, share what you know, share what you love, tell people what to do, like Kate said. And then 2 questions to ask yourself on this is, what is the desired outcome of this post? I always ask myself, I look at it, I'm like, all right, what's the outcome? Do I want to sell something? Do I want to provide value? Do I want to share a free guide? Do I want to ask them to follow me somewhere, check out something, join something, do something, be something? I don't know. What is the outcome of this post? Another question you can ask yourself is, would I share this piece of content? Or would I save this piece of content? Or would I tag someone in this piece of content? Ask these things. If you want these outcomes above, these are the questions that you ask yourself to make sure that those outcomes are achieved. So let's talk about trends versus evergreen. Me and Kate were like, evergreen, such a satisfying word. It really is, though,
I
because
love it. Yes.
I do too. Evergreen is something we get to use over and over and over and over and over and over and over again without having to recreate the same thing over and over and over again. It's like a piece of content that just is always valuable no matter how much time passes. Trends come and go, but evergreen is reusable. It doesn't like expire, maybe if it does, it might be a year or two later, whatever. But me teaching someone how to trim their squash and make stevia oil out of leaves and all the things that I share are not going to expire, right? It's just going to be there. So I love this side by side comparison of evergreen versus trends and just some top tips about it. And oh, I love what this says. Create an easy video that will work for you over the next few weeks or months. It lasts. So evergreen, this is content related to your niche and your audience. Okay. And these pieces of content will focus on quick tips, like we've mentioned throughout this video, hacks to something, do's and don'ts, how to's, transformations, before and afters, overcomes to becomes, super impactful stories that will never get old. And frequently asked questions. Frequently asked questions are really good. Your top tips, I know I already said that, but like, what can you provide for people in the area that will teach them about whatever it is that you always talk about, right? And basically, what is it that your customers are always searching for? What is that solution that they're always searching for? So trends are usually found on a featured for you explore page. They all call it different things on different platforms, but whatever that public feed is, evergreen videos will definitely show up there. However, you will see a lot of trends pop up there, and it's a good way to ride some of that wave. You don't have to do it all the time, but it's just a trend, right? It's good to mix it all in. And it might get you views, but it's not going to always attract your ideal audience, because sometimes the views go high because of the song choice, and it's kind of like a lottery on who is going to actually see your content based on the music versus based on like the actual topic of what the piece of content is. But it also is a higher probability of your content getting into the right hands as well. So it's still handy for you to find like the songs or the audios that are trending. There's like different ways on each platform, again, to identify what the trending music is. So if you don't know how to find that, just Google how to find trending songs on fill in the blank for whatever platform you're looking for, and it'll walk you through that. But just share with your heart, ride the trends, have fun, just be you, and think about how you can provide value to the world.
All right, let's get into captions. I got a little passionate about this when we were putting them together because captions are so important, y'all. You always need to have a caption for your short form video. And yes, that is rule number one. Rule number two, hashtags. And I saw some questions. We already had some questions about hashtags. We're going to get into that. 5 to 7 hashtags are just fine. They need to relate to what is happening on the video. Okay, so don't put a random hashtag just because you think everyone is looking up like 4th of July. So you do like a 4th of July hashtag, but your video has nothing to do with 4th of July. Don't use that. Actually, the platforms don't like that. The platforms want you to use hashtags that are relevant to the content in your video. So the first sentence of your caption should either be a question or a call to action. And this is really important. I want you guys, like, this is bolded on the screen for a reason. So many times I see people write a huge long caption, and then at the end, they give the call to action at the end, or at the last sentence is a question. You need to start with the most important part first. Remember, this is short form video, meaning people don't want to read all the way down. They need to have something that stops them immediately, grabs their attention, and puts them into action. So if you have a call to action, which a call to action is like, it might say, comment yes if you can relate. It might be, tell me your favorite skincare product in the comments. I don't know why we're on skincare products. Samantha, you got me on that. It might be like, maybe it's tell me what your favorite low carb snack is in the comments. And then after that, I will go on to talk about whatever is in my video. But you want to have that first sentence of your caption to either be a question or a call to action. The reason for that is the more people are commenting, what did we learn in the algorithm? We learned that if people comment right away, that's going to push our content out further. So you don't want to have that comment me 3 paragraphs down on the caption, because people may not even get that far. And everybody wants to give you their opinion. People want to engage with your content. So it has to be right there. Now, a caption can do a few different things. Capture people's attention so they watch longer, okay? That's number one, because if it's a really good caption, this is what I'm loving about TikTok right now. We can have these really long captions, which you used to not be able to. So where I used to put a recipe, the text actually in the video, I no longer do that. I put the recipe in the caption. Because what happens is people then go to the caption and they're reading that. And while they're reading that, the video continues to roll in the background. It's going over and over and over. And one of the things that the algorithm pushes you out is when people watch your video over and over, because that is telling the platform that this is really good content. People keep watching it over and over. It must be amazing. Let's push it to more people and more people. So I love having a lot of stuff in my caption. Things that can capture people's attention. I can't believe I'm doing this now. Or most people don't know this about me, but, or you won't believe this, but. So are y'all feeling that hook when you read that? It makes you want to go further, go deeper into the caption. You can go into more detail about the video and play the video multiple times in the background, like I mentioned. The details should be in your caption because the video should give people, like, it should be the hook. It should be the exciting thing. It should be the thing that makes them want to go read the caption. I do a lot in my video. I'll say, read the caption for more, because I want them to go into the caption and read. And that works. It works. It's a very popular hook right now. It tells people why they should stick around. Not only why they should stick around and keep watching the video, but why they should continue to follow you. If your captions are good, and when they read the caption, they feel like they know you better. Remember, what was it? The third or fourth slide in this presentation was about relationships. That caption should dig a little deeper into that relationship. They should know you a little bit more. And it gives you another opportunity to just be you, be authentic. I say y'all. I use language, I phrase things, I like totally drive Gen Z crazy because I use the ellipsis all the time. Like, but that is me, the dot, 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 if you don't know what an ellipsis is. But like, that is me. That is authentic to me. I laugh. If you use emojis, use emojis. If you don't like emojis, don't use them. But be you, be authentic. So captions are not just one small thing. They are a really big, important component to your short form video. So now we'll get to hashtags, which we get so many questions about hashtags. They are required and they are non-negotiable, okay? Now let's talk about why hashtags are important, because it puts your videos in multiple buckets of viewers, all right? So when I do, I'm just gonna use some of my content as an example. When I make a low carb recipe and I put in the caption hashtag low carb recipes, the algorithm is going to push my content out to people who are already liking and commenting and saving and sharing content that has hashtag low carb recipes. Are y'all seeing that? That's important. If you are creating content around dogs or around animals and animal rescues, you need to have hashtags that the people that are into that same thing, that they are liking, commenting, saving, and sharing content that is using that same hashtag. It really helps you get in front of the people who want what you are putting out. We always have, like, I have something, a little note on my laptop that it has been here for 7 years. It's a little sticky note and it says, you are looking for the people who are looking for you. It's one of the most important phrases I've ever heard since joining this business. And that is why this sticky note is over 7 years old. You are looking for the person who is looking for you. When you use the appropriate hashtags, that's what you're doing. You are finding the people who are looking for you. It keeps viewers in your niche and specific, especially if you are a new account. So if you have never made a short form video, it is so important that you're using these hashtags so you immediately are getting in front of the right people for you. I don't want my low carb recipes going in front of people who, I don't know, maybe they are, I don't even know, they're low fat, the low fat crowd, okay? If people that are low fat should not be seeing my content, they are not going to like it. It is not for them, right? So I want to make sure that I'm using hashtags that gets my content in front of the people who are going to align with me. You can see what is trending for those hashtags. Sorry, Samantha. You can see what's trending for those hashtags that you're following. So if you're in the low carb space, you can go into the platforms and you can search for those hashtags and see what's really trending around the low carb space. Sometimes it's low carb snacks. Sometimes it's low carb. Sometimes it's intermittent fasting. So all those things, you want to be a scholar of hashtags. And what are the hashtags of the ideal follower? This is thinking like, okay, if the person that I'm attracting is 48 years old and she's a female and she's just become an empty nester. What is the content that's going to be aligning with her? What are the hashtags that she's searching for right now? Sometimes it's going to be hormones. Sometimes it's going to be things empty nest. Whatever that is, I want to start creating content that is dealing with the hashtags of my ideal customer. So, and that was actually the very next thing. Ask yourself, what are the hashtags that your target follower is using and searching? Design your content around those hashtags. People see you as a resource. You want to be valuable to them. Jim Rohn says, the people who provide the most value in the world are the ones who make the most money. If you want to grow your income, provide more value, give more than you take. All right, Samantha.
Love that. So true. Always give more than you take. Always, always. So some hashtag do's and don'ts we'll go over real quick. And this is such a cute picture of Kate and Silver in their natural environment of creating content in the kitchen. Don't only focus on hashtags with billions of views. Just know that these buckets are there. And if you put your piece of content in a bucket that has 1 billion views, or a bucket that has like 10,000 views, the probability of somebody actually finding you in that bucket is higher because the bucket's a little bit smaller, So do focus on hashtags with the lower millions or the hundreds of thousands or the tens of thousands. So that way you're not the small fish in a big pond, you're the big fish in a small pond because your content rocks and you're following all of our systems and strategies and it's working and it's amazing. So don't use like random hashtags like Kate mentioned. Make sure they are fully relevant to what it is that you're posting. If there's a red car, you could type red car. If it's you jump roping, type jump roping. If you're outside in the sun with the trees like Carrie is, then type, sunny day. Sometimes that still directly relates to the video. So people are searching hashtags. So if they're searching for a sunny day, Carrie Clark's video technically is a sunny day. So think of hashtags as buckets, like I mentioned, and these people are looking for value that you're providing. Pro tip, look at the suggested hashtags too before you make your posts. They're like when you type in low carb, for example, you're going to see like tons of low carb options. So kind of scroll through those and find some that have lower numbers, and type in your niche too to find other popular creators that are doing things similar to you, and you can get inspired and recreate their content too. So I know a couple times we mentioned call to action, and we are almost done. We're coming to a close here, and like the most important things are this is one of them, call to action, like telling people what to do. We've mentioned it a couple of times, really plugging people into what you want them to do with this content. What is that expected outcome? So what a call to action is a prompt on a website or your piece of content or in an email, whatever, that tells the user to take action. So it tells them to do whatever you literally ask them to do. So like we mentioned, comment below, be sure to like and follow, drop blank for more info, tag someone who blank. We've gone over this, but these are the key factors when it comes down to these calls to action. And the reason why they're important is it's a key element to someone taking that next step. If you look at every piece of content as part of your funnel that you're filling up, that will eventually lead to your video, to your products, then it is important to do this part of the funnel, include that call to action, because it will just lead them down the right way. Okay, so giving them that clear directive lets people know what to do next. And without a clear call to action, people don't really know what the next steps are at all, let alone are they going to make it to purchase, right? If they can't even figure out what you're asking them to do or what the content is about, they're not going to take any action at all. So just think about the call to the action, taking them to the next step in your funnel or flow.
All right. So strategically posting, you all. This is so important because this is what's going to create a relational business instead of a transactional business. So this is a great formula to follow. You're going to do 4 days a week made for shares and saves. This is value, 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 following the 4 E's, remember? So 4 days a week. This is just rule of thumb. 2 days a week, post made for profile visits, before and afters, product story, journey with building an online business, calls to action, all those things. And then 1 day a week builds authenticity and relationships with your current audience. So if you follow this strategy, you are going to build solid relationships, deeper relationships, and you will not have such a transactional business. And it also just helps you to know what to post. So save this screenshot this, take a picture of it right now, because this is going to be a great example for you to plan your posting schedule. Post aesthetics. I love the word aesthetics. Okay, so this is basically, what does your content look like? Set the duration of how long the words remained on the screen, long enough to where people can read it. Now, this is a pet peeve of mine, and maybe some people do this as a strategy to make you watch their video over and over, but I don't like it personally. So I can't recommend that. If you have text on your screen, you need to go back and watch that before you post it to make sure, can I read everything that's on there before it goes off? Because there are a lot of people that if the video is not aesthetic, mean it's not pleasing to the eye, it's not comfortable for them to watch, they will scroll on. Placement matters. Only place your words inside of the red box. All the platforms show you where to put your text. If your text is too wide on some phones, they will not be able to read what you're saying. So always try and keep your text inside that box, inside the screen. When you go to the platform, it's going to show you on the sides where all the icons are. You want to stay within that area, okay? Different phones have different screen sizes, so don't take that text too far out. Your call to action should be large enough to easily read. Don't use colors that aren't easy on the eyes as well. So your call to action needs to be very visible. Y'all, aesthetics are important to keep people from just scrolling past. One other thing I'm going to put on here that's not on this pro tip, lighting and camera angle. If you are using yourself in the video, utilize good lighting. Get a ring light. They're not expensive. You can find them very affordable on Amazon. You can also use window light, really good lighting. And your camera angle, the camera needs to be either at eye level or slightly above. Never below going up, unless you want to have 5 chins in your video, which maybe you do. Maybe you're doing a funny video. I don't know. But for me, I want less chins, not more. So, and I don't want people looking at my nose. So I don't want a video that's shooting up. I want the video camera angle to be at my eyes or slightly above, and I want to be really well lit. Those are things that all of you can do. You can get really great lighting and camera holding devices. Is it still me, Samantha, or is that you?
I don't know, but I'll go.
Yeah.
So post aesthetics, again, continued. I love to say your feed is your virtual business card, because it truly is. If you meet somebody out, or if they stumble across your page online, they are going to look at your page and they are going to, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, what do you want them to assume? What do you want them to feel? What do you want them to see? What do you want them to be? What do you want to be their initial reaction? It can't be a bunch of random stuff. Be intentional with this, especially with your pinned posts. I don't know if we put that in here. But like, there's pinned posts on every platform. Be intentional with that pinned post and make sure that that pinned post is something that your whole audience needs to see on a regular basis. Okay. So your feed is your virtual business card. If someone looks at your page, do they do they get a good feel for who you are and what you do, what you offer, what value you provide? Be super clear with your message always. And thumbnails are important. Thumbnails are just the picture that people see when they go on your Instagram, or if they go on your page, like what is that photo that they see when they're like scrolling? On most platforms, you can actually select that picture. So when you're posting a reel, make sure you make the thumbnail something like your whole face instead of like your nose down. Or if there's words on the screen and you want the words to pop up on your thumbnail, your words can actually lead people to actually click on that piece of content. So thumbnails matter, and it'll give them a clear idea of what they're about to see. Sometimes it's like top tips for drinking ketones. Like, I want those words on the picture so people are like, I want to know what those top tips are, you know? So, oh, also, and don't you overuse filters. And I put in the chat too, no like flashing random memes or images or pictures on. I know it's like really tempting that they offer all of these moving things like cat ears and dog lips and sparkles, and then you can add like images of like stars. Listen, that kind of stuff, do it on your stories if you want to, but on your reels and on your page, you want to be authentic, and people are not going to buy into anything like that. So the best recommendation to stay on top of your stuff is to batch create your content. You can film multiple videos in one day with intention if you actually know what the outcomes are that you're wanting to achieve. If you plan out your 4-2-1 week, and you have these ideas and you're like, I'm just going to film like 4 of them right now. Like, you can even change your shirt if you want, if you don't want to be in the same outfit, and just get it out of the way. This helps remain consistent, so you have more time for you. You shouldn't have to be thinking every day, well, what am I going to post about? What am I going to do? What am I going to film? Oh, I got to get ready. No, you don't have time for that. Does anybody on here get ready like every single day, camera ready, ready to just have the energy and the perkiness to get on camera and shoot those videos? I personally don't feel that every day. And sometimes I don't want to feel that. Like, sometimes I just want to stay in my pajamas and walk around in my garden and absorb sun and water plants and eat blackberries. Like, I don't always want to think about making content every day. We're building time freedom here, people. Okay. We're not trying to be attached to this all day, every day. We got to think smarter, not harder. So batch creating your content really creates more time for yourself, especially when you plan it out and you're very intentional. You can also schedule it to post for you. You don't even have to post. So here are some ideas to type 1, talking head tip. You talking and sharing a tip, like literally you put your camera on a tripod or up against the counter and talk to the camera, talking head, sharing whatever it is you want to share that you learned on this video. Type 2 is you like pointing or just text on a video with music, just basically saying like, you don't always have to use your voice. You can like point to something, you can just smile and wave and put text or something, tell a story, tips. Everything that we've mentioned on here can literally be done with no voice if you even wanted it to. So there's like no excuses, guys. There's no excuses. And I know somewhere in here, oh, right there, B-roll. We mentioned B-roll. Like, B-roll is like, I have my other phone propped up right there filming me doing this whole training, and I'm going to use a 4-second, 10-second clip of me just talking. They're not even going to hear what I'm saying. They're just going to see me waving my arms like a crazy person. And then I'm going to put some kind of text over it. You could load your car with groceries. You can time lapse you packing up trial packs. I do that a lot and it always does well. I'll pack up like, let's say I have this special bundle that I'm putting together and I want to make 10 of them. I will time lapse me packing up 10 trial packs and use that as a post with no words and just music, telling people that I send out trial packs every single day. So you can save all of these videos in your drafts until you're ready to spend time to either edit them, put the captions or whatever, but batch create your content.
All right. And everything is content. Everything is content, y'all. This is one of my favorite things to share with people, because I talk to people all the time and they're like, no, my life is so boring. I don't have anything to film. Listen, some of you are on here right now and you know that I'm talking to you. And yes, this is about you. So, but everything is content. Look at this list. Look at this list. Number 1, loading your car full of groceries. A video of you putting your groceries inside your car is actually content. Behind the scenes of you working. So I'll put up a phone and I'll be working on my computer and it's filming me working on my computer. That is content. You mixing up your ketones, that is content. Walking your dog is content. Walking down a sidewalk, sitting on a bench, reading a book, sweeping the floor, your skincare routine, which we have said like 20 times tonight, pouring yourself a glass of water, all of that. Some of you are like, I don't have anything to make. I have no content. Listen, if you can read through these 10 things and you can't find at least 8 that you can make, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're living, what your life is like, but you can make content. Pro tip, have separate albums on your phone. Samantha talked about this earlier. Have separate albums on your phone specifically for your content. So for example, I have a photo album on my phone that is all, it says business. It's called business. You can title your photo albums on your phone. And when I find like quotes that I love that I know I want to use on a short form video, I will screenshot it and I will put it in that album. So if I'm doing a video, let's say I have this and I'm loading my car full of groceries, that to me is actually a business post because I get to talk about how the fact that my side hustle, what I do online through my phone is paying for my groceries. So that is all relative with my business. So I might have that video of me filling up my groceries, and then I might have a business quote on top of it, and then have music in the background. You all, everything is content. You laying out your pajamas at night, you making your bed, that is all content. A lot of that is B-roll, but it's really great content. You can repost and repurpose your posts. Some of you have been making content for years and you have never repurposed it. Oh my gosh, you're sitting on a gold mine. You're sitting on so much content because no one is going to say, oh, I think I saw that 6 months ago. No, people are not remembering your content like that. Repurpose it, repost it. I do that all the time, especially on weeks like this week when I was actually in the hospital. I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to post. I was able to repost something that I did 2 years ago. Okay. So you can always repost and repurpose.
Oh, actually, that is our last slide. I was like, why isn't it
Oh,
going to the next one?
oh, that is perfect. That is perfect. All right. Okay. So, Samantha, are you going to stop the screen share so we can kind of close this out? Awesome. So I hope that this was helpful for all of you. Remember to stay on after we stop the recording. But what we want you all to understand is short form video is the funnel to bring new eyes in front of, to bring new eyes on top of you, to see what you are about, to know you, to get to like you, to begin to trust you so that they will want to do business with you one day. Short form video is the fastest way to grow your social media audience. Even if you are building your business in person, I recommend that you start growing online along with that because that's how I built. I had brick and mortar business. I started this business in person, but I started to grow online little by little, little by little. And now I have over 700,000 followers across platforms, which is why I wake up every day with new conversations in my inbox. Samantha, what do you have to say to close this out?
Really just stay consistent and rewatch this video. Think back to your notes, refer back to them because whatever you wrote down means that it was something that was impactful for you. So just identify, the top 1 or 2 things that are going to move the bar forward right now and implement them immediately and just continue to build on this list. I have full faith that you all will find all the success that you're looking for online. And thanks for taking the time and spending with us and learning about how to use short form video to optimize your business and you. So I'm going to end the recording and I'll see you guys later.